All right. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Today is Thursday, the 27th of November, 2025. Welcome to the show if you're here. If you're not, I don't blame you. It's American Thanksgiving, right? Most of my audience is American, at least it used to be. My old demographics were that 55 plus percent of my viewing audience were in the United States, and likely that means that you guys were probably going to be busy today. You'll be enjoying holiday festivities with your friends and your family. But for me, half the day I am going to be here on stream. The other half I will be celebrating with my wife and Jasper Kitty. We're gonna have a really good meal and all of that. So the first half of the day, while my wife is cooking, I've been told to stay out of the kitchen. Don't mess with anything. You'll do more harm than good, which is probably true. What I'm good at is after the fact, eating the food and helping clean up. That I can do. Cooking, not really. So today I'm going to be here on stream with everyone chilling, and I am actually recording. Normally I wouldn't record the pre-stream kind of like hangout session that I do, but being that it is Thanksgiving, likely with the audience that I have, which likely is going to be a very diminished audience today. Many people are going to be very busy today, and that's totally expected and fine. But I'm sure we'll be talking about Thanksgiving stuff, food and festivities and things that you guys do and what you'll be up to today, and just in general, just answering questions and having a good time here before we jump into Pokemon. Today, I will be playing Pokemon Legends ZA, completing the story and getting into the end game content and seeing what that content is, okay? But I said, you know what? I'll record it. I realized in the last few days that many of the new subscribers, welcome everyone again, to everyone who's been checking out the channel and content. Thank you so much for that. You guys really enjoy the hangout sessions, the podcast, the daily wraps, that kind of stuff. You've really enjoyed it. So why not record this today? Since it is a special Thanksgiving event, I think you guys will probably enjoy the video, right? So that's why I'm doing it like this. And good morning, everyone who's here. We're very early. I actually started talking on camera here way earlier than I usually would. Who's here today? We got James. We got a crying carcass. We've got Real King Maxwell, World Above Wheels, Chris, Late Gaming, War and Peace, Ryan, Bono's Tecmo, Green Guardsman. Your future stepson, Jade's here. Good morning, Jade. Good to see you, man. We got Sweet Roach, opposite of my thoughts. Jade the Great, Garce is here. Sewer Rat is here. RGB King, Poxy. Here's Willie. How y'all doing? Late Gaming, how are you? You're painting a Warhammer. Oh, cool. Those things are pretty intricate. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Anthony, how are you? Double X, how are you? Happy Thanksgiving to everyone who celebrates. I realize many of my viewers are not American, and therefore today's just a normal day for you. Like Canada had their Thanksgiving last month, right? And I don't even know over in the UK if you guys even celebrate Thanksgiving. I don't even know if that's a thing. But, it's cool here. It's a day of spending times with friends and family, being thankful for what you have, and eating a whole lot of food. And that's no exception. I'll be doing that today as well, for sure. Wow, already? All right, well, guys, thank you so much. People are already contributing. Amazing. Thank you. Let's do shout outs, I guess, then. We actually started off, I think there was a tip overnight. I didn't look at it, though. Let me take a look at this. Let me see here. I got a $1.50 anonymous tip. Just says, Happy Thanksgiving. Well, thank you, whoever that was. First tip of the day is $1.50. Anonymous tip. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. And then there was a gifted sub from Lance Catamaran. That's our first subscriber of the day. I should say not subscriber, but gifted sub of the day. So thank you, Lance. And thank you, MRMBR, like maybe Mr. Member, I'm not sure, who just gifted 5 memberships to the community here on DSP Gaming. Thank you so much for the 5 gifteds. And congrats to people who just got them. I hope that you guys enjoy. All right. Cool. So, what's the vibe today, my friends? How y'all doing? What's going on? Probably Bears just gifted a membership to the community. Thanks, Probably Bears. I appreciate that. Wow, I just got a $15 tip. Thank you, guys. 15 bucks. Happy Thanksgiving, Phil. Have a nice day. Thank you so very much for the generous tip here on Thanksgiving. I give you thanks for your support of the channel and content here on Thanksgiving for sure. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you. All right, so okay, so I'm just curious if you are an American who celebrates Thanksgiving today. You're actually celebrating, because I realize there's some Americans that don't celebrate it, and that's okay. It's your prerogative, right? If you're an American celebrating Thanksgiving today and you're on the stream, type 1 in the chat right now. I want to gauge how many of the people who are actually on stream are celebrating Thanksgiving today, and how many are maybe non-Americans or people who don't celebrate, and it's just kind of a normal day for you. Let's see. All right, they're starting to come in now. There's like a 10-second delay. Here come the ones. Here comes a flood of ones. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of ones in the YouTube chat. On Kick, 2 people. 3 people. Everyone else on Kick is literally typing random numbers and nonsense. So, once again, if ever there's been a sign that there's a little bit of a difference between the two audiences that watch me, yeah, on YouTube, we all, we're going to celebrate today. We're in a good mood. Holiday, vibes to hang out with Phil. Kick, let's just type any nonsense. Here we go. Anyway, cool. So in general, of my chatting public, it looks like quite a lot of people are actually celebrating American Thanksgiving today. Well, that's awesome. The reason I keep saying American Thanksgiving is because it's confusing for some people, because there's other Thanksgivings. Like I said, Canada just had their Thanksgiving a month ago. So if I say Thanksgiving, people will be like, wait, what do you mean? Well, I am American. So cool. Thank you to James for a $10 super chat. He says, I have work today, but I got some prep to do for tomorrow, mostly at home. Not a lot of people call AAA on the holidays. Not really, not a lot of people? Is that true? I would have thought, and maybe this is just me thinking, logically putting 2 to 2 together in my head, more people would be calling AAA for the holidays, because they're all traveling for the holiday and they maybe don't usually travel, so they're not well equipped for it, and then they get into trouble. But maybe I'm wrong. I do know there's way more people on the roads, like right now, traditionally, than usual. But then again, today is Thanksgiving Day, so maybe there's less. I don't know. Brian, 41 months as a member. Happy Thanksgiving to you, my friend. Thank you. And then we got Lance, gifted a second sub over on Kick. Thank you so much, Lance. Sub number 2 from Lance today. Thank you so much. Very nice. Okay. All right, so let me ask you guys a question. Whoa, hold on a second. I can't ask the question yet. Another generous contribution has come in. A whopping $40 tip just came in. Okay. Wow. So, $40 tip from someone who has been someone who's watched basically most of my Pokemon playthrough and been here for it. So thank you very much for a $40. I should have played the $30 animation. The 21's good, right? We know it's 40. Thank you to the anonymous $40 tipper. They said they would like, during this playthrough, they've actually named many different Pokemon, including Houdini, Frankie, Abby, and Sean. Frankie is his favorite, so keep him in the party. We will. Frankie, who is a mega evolving Greninja, is endgame stuff. I'm going to say this up front. I guess I should, because I didn't even think about this. For today, we're about to beat the story. We can't do anything with Pokemon until the story's completed. Reason being, I'm in an endless gauntlet right now of tough fights. You can't buy healing items anymore. So simply put, just to beat the game, I'm probably going to have to swap Pokemon in and out of my party that are live and high level. So I will keep Frankie in the party because we were supposed to anyway. Like, I need him. But I think what I'll do is if we're going to have anyone name Pokemon today or put them in the party, we have to wait until I beat the story. Wait until I get to the end game content, or I should say the post game content, whatever opens up after you beat the story. And then we'll do that. Because how on earth am I going to beat the game if people are like, swap in 5 new Pokemon that are level 20? I can't beat the game now. So logically, let's not do that yet. All right, if people are interested in naming Pokemon, let's actually complete the story of Pokemon Legends ZA first, and then we'll do that. Okay? Cool. So thank you so much. A $40 tip is very much appreciated. Thank you so much. So how you guys doing? I hope you're all doing well. So here's the deal for me today. For those who are maybe wondering, what does DSP do for his Thanksgiving? First half of the day, I usually stream, and it's pretty much been like this for a very long time. Now, what I actually do on the stream has changed dramatically over the years, and it's because my content has changed dramatically over the years. I remember ages ago, I actually used to do like a Thanksgiving Day marathon of gameplay. Like, it would literally be gameplay specific. I would ask usually what people wanted. I remember that at one point I used to do multiplayer stuff on today, where it would be like Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed. Remember when Assassin's Creed had multiplayer? So it'd be like Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, whatever the new Bad Company or Battlefield game is. I'd play some fighting games like Street Fighter 4 or Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix. Just a variety of stuff to keep people excited that day. Now, I wasn't streaming, so I would play all that gameplay and upload it to the channel, and people would have an insane amount of stuff to watch if they were bored on Thanksgiving. Okay, and it worked. People liked it. Then I became an interactive live streamer. Well, let me take that back. I became a live streamer. The first few years that I live streamed, I wasn't interactive. And you might say, what do you mean? How do you live stream and not talk to your audience? Yeah, that's a good question, because that's what I did. No lie. From 2013 until early 2017, so 4 years, I full-time live streamed, and I didn't talk to the audience. Of course, now I look back at that and I'm like, wow, I was a complete idiot. I ignored my audience. I mean, that's a huge wealth of stuff. You talk to them, have social interaction, have conversation. No, ignore them and just play a game all day. That's what I did. I basically acted like I wasn't even streaming. So what I did during those years was, since I didn't do interactive streaming, I had a show that I called Ask the King. And this show was a Q&A show where people who actually wanted to talk to me would submit their questions, and I would actually go through the questions, kind of pick the best ones that I thought I had the better, more entertaining answers for, and I would then, on that show, answer those questions live. So basically, on Thanksgiving, I would do like Thanksgiving Ask the King, which actually went down pretty well. Usually the show traditionally did very well when it came to people kind of attending the stream and or watching the show. But then I became an interactive streamer, and I basically phased out Ask the King. Like, what's the point of having an interactive Q&A show when you literally interact with your audience every single day, right? So now I just do random stuff on Thanksgiving, and I only do one stream. And the reason is, my wife cooks a nice meal every single year, and it's different. This year, for example, my wife is going to be doing basically everything, either from scratch or basically we didn't like order anything. Usually what happens is, around this time of year, my parents, as like an early Christmas present, they would order us some food. They would order us like sides, like Thanksgiving sides. Like, usually there'd be like a casserole or a stuffing or like a cheesy potato thing or a sweet potato thing. And all we would do is toss them in the oven, bake them, and then we would make our own turkey, pop open a can of cranberry sauce, and then that was our dinner. This year, Kat is going to do stuff differently. She's actually going to be making her own green bean casserole, her own homemade mashed potatoes, in addition to roasting an actual turkey breast roast, which is different from a whole turkey. I'll probably explain that later. And then we're gonna have a whole bunch of sides. We're just gonna do instant stuffing, like stovetop stuffing. Why? It's easy to make. She's gonna make a lot of it because we're gonna have like 2-3 meals of this Thanksgiving food. So she's gonna make a lot of it. It's like, dude, we're not gonna go crazy with some kind of, over the top complicated dressing or stuffing or whatever you want to call it. We're just gonna do the stovetop. We like the stovetop. It tastes good to us, so we don't mind. We actually got 2 different kinds of cranberry sauce. We got the jellied and the ones that has the big cranberries in it. So I don't even know what we're gonna have today. Maybe we'll have a little of each. I don't know. We got some rolls, some little rolls we're gonna, put some butter on. And, so we got a lot. We got the turkey with the gravy. We got the mashed potatoes. We've got the green bean casserole, the stuffing, the cranberry sauce, and the rolls. Oh, and for dessert, we got a big, big lattice work topped apple pie. Why apple pie? Because a couple weeks ago we ran into a pumpkin pie and we're like, ooh, and we already got one. So we've already had the pumpkin pie for the year. We're like, all right, let's get a fruit pie then for Thanksgiving. And to be honest, we actually more wanted a cherry pie, but they didn't have any at the store, so we just got an apple pie because that's what they had here. I live in Washington State in the United States. Our big state, by far, our state crop is the apple. Like we have a ridiculous amount of apples everywhere, like crazy apples, like out of your mind amount of apples here, varieties and stuff. Like I go to the grocery store, there's 17 kinds of apples sitting there. Like, whoa. So apple pie is like the big prominent thing. We got a good one. Hopefully it tastes good. And so that's what we're doing today. That's our huge meal today. It's like multiple course after course after course of good stuff. And of course, we're making so much, we have leftovers. So I'll be eating that tonight off stream. But tomorrow during my Black Friday marathon, I'll be having a plate of leftovers on stream. So you actually will get to see some of the food that we ate for Thanksgiving tomorrow live if you're here for the Black Friday marathon event. Okay? Vasil, thank you for a 1313 super chat. He says, I'm just dropping by to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. I hope that you and Kat have a great one. Thank you so much, Vasil, and you as well. If you're celebrating today, I hope that you have a great day. And thanks for stopping by. And thank you, obviously, for the support. I appreciate that so very much. Thank you, Vasil. Also, Parasolo's here. 54 months as a member. He has 89 at the end of his name, and I will said that as the member. 54 months as a member. Happy Thanksgiving. Eat well all. Yes, indeed. Indeed. So, question. What do you guys do for Thanksgiving? Do you do similar to what we do? So, what we're going to do for the turkey, okay? We got, because it's just me and my wife and our kitty Jasper. That's it. We don't have a big family or anything. You know, I do have family. Like my parents actually live on the other side of the country in Connecticut, where I used to live. So I don't have any family or anything to visit to eat Thanksgiving meals with. Okay. So we got turkey, but we didn't get a giant turkey. That would be stupid, right? What are we going to do with a giant turkey? The thing is about leftovers, or people don't realize, you have to eat leftovers in 3 days. If you don't, they go bad, and if you eat them, you can get sick. Now, you can freeze them if you freeze them right away, but why are we going to buy so much food and have so much excess, right? So we get what's called a turkey breast roast. What it is, it's just the turkey breast, okay? So it's like this big, okay? It still has the skin on it, and it's wrapped in like this, almost like twine, the string thing, and you cook it just like that. You cook it with the string on, and what ends up happening is it holds in like all the juices, and then after you cook it, you take the string off, and then you slice it into slices, and the skin and the stuff is still on there, so you get this extra flavor, and we're actually marinating it in a garlic herb marinade. It's been marinating in the refrigerator overnight, so it's going to have this awesome flavor on the outside as well, and hopefully absorbing into some of the meat. So it's not just turkey, it's going to have this awesome marinade, and then, of course, we have turkey gravy as well to have with it. So I feel like that makes more sense. If you're a smaller family and you don't need to have, food to feast on for 2-3 weeks, and you also don't have like 5-6 family members you're feeding, you don't go for the giant turkey. What would we do with all that meat, right? It would be wasteful. So we just buy the little one. And so that's what we're doing for Thanksgiving. So I'm just curious, what do you guys do? Do you guys do anything crazy? What does everyone do? If you're an American, of course. If you're not an American, you probably don't do any Thanksgiving stuff. But what do you guys do? Well, William tells us I also got just the turkey breast. That's cool. Lance Catamaran did a 500 kicks over on Kick says, we actually do a ham. So I've heard, for those who really don't like turkey, that's kind of like the most popular second place thing people do here in the U.S. That if, basically turkey ain't your thing. A lot of people just don't like turkey. And that's cool. I understand. I don't love turkey. Like, I think turkey's all right. So I don't mind. I literally don't mind having it. I think it's decent, but you're right. I'm not like in love with turkey. Some people are like crazy turkey aficionados who like want turkey all year. They really like crave turkey all year. Not really me. Like I eat a lot of turkey. I eat instead of red meat, I eat a lot of turkey, which is by the way, way leaner meat. It's much healthier for you. It has less uric acid, which is a thing for me. I can't eat things that make you get a high uric acid level because I have a disorder. So that's a big thing for both Thanksgiving and for Christmas as well, right? Like Christmas, I've heard people eat a turkey, people eat ham. Like they'll go back and forth and do either or. So, well, that's cool. That's cool that you're doing some ham. Here you go. My family does a barbecue. We invite like 30 people. That's James. When you say barbecue, you mean like all kinds of barbecue meats? So you're talking like maybe turkey, but like chicken, beef, like ribs, pork, everything. Dang, that's pretty cool. If that's the case, I love barbecue. Jim Jam says, my vegan sister's going to make a tofurkey. Boy. Well, here's the thing. I've had tofu that tasted absolutely awful. I've had tofu that kind of is neutral. That's not offensive, but also isn't great. Like for me, tofu is, first of all, it's good for you, right? Tofu actually is legitimately very good for you. It's very high in protein, low in everything bad. But it doesn't have a lot of flavor. So I think what the idea is with tofu is that you give it seasonings and or sauces that make it taste good, and it really acts like a flavor sponge. Like it will absorb whatever you're cooking it with. So I suppose if you were to take tofu and you were actually to like put all kinds of stuff on it, maybe it could actually like absorb the flavor of turkey and simulate turkey. I don't know. I don't know. For me, I'll be honest with everyone here. I find it silly that, like, let's say you are a vegan or a vegetarian, right? Okay, so go ahead, eat the veggies. Like, that's fine. What I don't get is that you make the active choice you want to be a vegan or a vegetarian, which is likely for your health, right? You think it's going to give you better health in your life or whatever, and more power to you. Go for it. That's up to you. It's your prerogative, right? For me, I love meat. I'm going to eat meat for the rest of my life. I just make more healthier choices with the meat that I eat. But the question here is, if you've made the active choice to be a vegan or a vegetarian, why do you then make the non-meat try to taste like meat? I don't understand that. Like you said, I don't want this in my diet. I don't want to be a carnivore, right? I just want to eat non-meats. So now I need to make something that tastes like meat. Why? I'm lost. Like when they announced the Impossible Burger, the Impossible Whopper, impossible, right? I said, well, you're right, it is impossible. There's no way that's going to taste like a Whopper. I don't have any belief whatsoever that that's going to taste like a Whopper. I just don't believe it at all. And then I did an actual head-to-head taste test one year of the regular Whopper versus the Impossible Whopper. And you know what? The Impossible Whopper tasted good, but it tasted nothing like the real Whopper at all. Like zero meat flavor. It was it was an appetizing flavor, but it wasn't meat. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I don't get. Like, okay, it's Thanksgiving. I'm a vegan. I'm going to have tofurkey. Why? Why not just eat the veggies? Why not make a delicious gourmet all veggie spread that anyone would actually find appetizing instead of disguising the tofu to look like a turkey and taste like turkey? That I just don't get that. Because here's another thing too. For me, if it's something that I don't want or I don't want to eat, I want to phase it out of my diet. Meaning, I want to make sure it's not in my diet at all. That way, I don't crave it anymore. Case in point, 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with gout, which is a blood disorder where you have high uric acid levels. And if you have too much uric acid, you can get giant swollen joints with crystals forming in the joints that feel like someone's stabbing you with a knife. And it takes sometimes up to a week to have the inflammation and the crystals go down so that you can actually feel normal again. One time I was so hard up, I couldn't walk. My whole foot was swollen like a balloon. Okay. So what I did is I phased out the foods that cause that issue, namely red meat is the number one cause of a gout flare-up. So When I phased out red meat and I stopped eating burgers, I stopped eating steak, I stopped eating, anything that you could think of that, red meat oriented, right? I stopped craving it. Like straight up, like bacon, I can eat, but I don't really crave it anymore. It's good every once in a while as a rarity, but I don't ever think in my head, man, I really want some bacon right now. It just doesn't happen. Steak, I used to love steak. I used to love a nice steak with a char on it. You get that smoky charcoal flavor, a little crispiness on the outside, but meltiness of the fat, and the meat has that great season, the flavor. I know, I remember it. But I literally don't crave it at all. If I go to a restaurant right now that has steak, I never buy steak. I don't even think about it. Like, I don't want it because I phased it out of my diet. I don't think I want it anymore. So, if you're a vegan or a vegetarian and the whole idea is don't eat the meat, then why eat something that looks and tastes like meat? Because then it's going to make you think of meat again. And you're going to want meat, even though you're not going to eat it. That's what I don't get. Like, for me, I just like say, nah, get it out of my diet. You know what I mean? And so now I don't want it anymore. Emperor Ferb says, well, a lot of people choose to be vegan or vegetarian because of the animals that get slaughtered. It's not for health reasons. That's why they do tofu meat. Okay, I guess if it's a personal preference, okay, so I see what you're saying. It's not for health purposes. They basically do like the flavor of meat, but they don't want to murder an animal, so therefore, okay, all right. Okay, maybe that is a justification then. Oh, fair enough. Although, again, my line of reasoning immediately goes to, well, you don't want to murder the animal, yet you're okay with, like, slaughtering a whole bunch of plants, which are also alive. I mean, they're not sentient, but they are alive. You're okay with killing the plants. I mean, it's the circle of life, right? Like, you have to get rid of some life for life to go on. It's just kind of the natural way of things. I didn't make that happen. That's just how it is. I didn't choose to be born into this existence. I'm just here, you know? So I just got to kind of deal with those things. But I don't know. Hold on a second here. Jade says, I don't eat any turkey, but I do like Thanksgiving Day. And I think that's true for a lot of people. Like I said, the turkey thing is the traditional thing. It's the thing everyone talks about. It's the thing everyone claims you should do. It's not necessarily what you have to do. If you just don't like turkey, it's not your thing. I get the feeling a lot of people don't do it, you know? I will agree with that, especially Americans. Cabal says so many people would do with eating less meat and more veggies. I feel like Americans, okay, here's the real problem. Americans eat too much bad quality meat. That should actually be what I think should be kind of the message to spread. Americans do eat a ton of meat, and it's all this low-grade, mass-produced, processed garbage that really doesn't help your body, right? If everyone was eating high-quality, lean meats, filling their body with the protein that you need to build your muscle and rejuvenate your body and do what your body wants, then it would be fine. But instead, we're eating, McDonald's. We're eating, processed chicken tenders. You know what I mean? Or we're eating this crap that's been so grinded down and has all these additives added to it, all the oil added to it, right? Awful. If we were all eating the good stuff, then it would be fine. But I will agree with you, Cabal. Americans do not eat a lot of vegetables. They just don't. Half the time you go to a restaurant, right? And you're like, okay, so what are your entrees? And they'll be like, so here's the main course, whatever it may be, and then here's your sides, and here's your side options. Baked potato, mashed potatoes, French fries, rice, soup. Wait, where is the vegetable option? How about some mixed greens? How about actually roasted vegetables? How about some carrots? How about some green beans? How about some asparagus? No, we don't do what? No one wants that. How about some mac and cheese instead? Mac and cheese for your side. What? Mac and cheese? The worst possible thing a human could probably eat? That's what you're offering me, huh? That's what you order. That's what you get at an American restaurant. Like, seriously. So I don't know about other countries. I'm telling you my experience being an American. That's pretty much how it is these days. So I do like veggies. In fact, if I go to a restaurant and they offer like seasoned or grilled veggies, I eat that as my side usually. I want the lighter side because I don't want the side to fill me up and make me feel bloated It made me feel full of grease and fats. Like, now how do I even enjoy the entree if I just ate this insanely crazy filling side, right? So, yeah, there you go. Oh, by the way, many more people have joined the stream now. So everyone, happy Thanksgiving, happy Turkey Day. I'm so happy you can hear this now. Last year I got this guy and I got all excited. I said, all right, guys, here we go. And I played it and everyone was like, what do you mean? Nothing's happening. So what do you mean nothing's happening? People were like, we can't hear it. I had these filters. This is my old mic. I didn't have this mic. I had an older mic and all the filters that things had on it, you couldn't hear it at all. It was like blocking out the turkey. I was like, son of a. This year my setup's way better. So good stuff. Okay. I'm looking slim in this sweater. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'll take that as a compliment. I did actually work out last night. It sucked. Basically, I work out 5 days a week, and my day off to work out was Monday night. Okay. And I was supposed to work out Tuesday night. But if you guys remember, I had a splitting headache on Tuesday night, and I had streamed Call of Duty. That didn't help it. So I went off stream, and I had this like sharp, pounding, stabbing headache behind my left eye. And I was like, I don't think I should be working out tonight, because if I do, it's probably just going to make the headache worse. You know, when your blood pressure goes up, typically if you have a headache, it makes it even worse. And I didn't want my head to explode or have an aneurysm. So I said, I didn't work out on Tuesday either. So what happens is I'm in a routine where I work out 5 days a week, and my body was craving exercise. And it was like, why aren't you exercising? It actually was upset with me. My body was upset with me for not working out. So then last night I actually worked out and I felt really good. After I was like, oh man, now my body is like actually happy and rewarding that I'm working out again. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. They think that like working out is hard work. I'm not saying it isn't. It is. But once you get into a routine and you're used to doing it, your body actually craves it. The trick is getting into that routine. Like I've been doing it now for many months. And so my body likes it. At first it didn't. It was hard work. It was sore all the time, pain. But now that I've been doing it for many months, it's happy to do it and wants more. So I feel good this morning. I feel energized. I feel, pumped. I feel good. And it's a good thing to have in your routine, that's for sure. I received a $10 tip. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. Thank you. Whoever that was from. Anonymous $10 tip. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours as well. Thank you so very much. Excellent. Thank you guys. I mean, thanks for the early support. This is just a hangout right now. In about a half an hour, we'll jump into Pokemon. I just wanted to spend some time with all of you here on Thanksgiving and chill for a bit and see what you guys want to talk about. Okay, so I've gotten this question. I'm getting the question now again. Okay. Why don't I put my chats onto the screen when I do videos like this? Like some people are like, gameplay, it makes sense. You put the chat over gameplay, you're taking up the real estate of the game. But what about when you're doing a vlog like this right now? Why don't I put the chat on the screen? Okay. It's a legitimate question. It really is. And I want to answer it for you. Because if I do that, it literally creates incentive for people to come in and do malicious things in the chat. I'll give you an example so you understand what I mean and where I'm coming from. Okay. Many years ago on YouTube, I had completely open comments. And what I mean by that is absolutely anyone could come by and post anything on any video. It could be positive. It could be negative. It could be incredibly praising. It could be incredibly damning. I had an open comments policy. I just wanted everyone to be free to say and do whatever they wanted on the videos because I felt, hey, let people know if they liked this playthrough, they hated this playthrough, if they liked this game, this review, or if they thought that there was something better. Let them have free speech. Let them have their say, okay? That lasted a very long time. But what ended up happening was around 2012, 2013 is when this big negative movement against me started on the internet. And as people started to make toxic videos about me, they actually would start to fish for negative comments, okay, in the actual comments of the videos and put them in their videos. They thought it was funny to see someone out of all the comments there say something bad about me and put it in the video. Haha, look what Phil's viewers are saying about him. since this took off, these kind of videos took off, what ended up happening was it became a competition. Who could say the most absolutely ludicrous, extreme, toxic, negative thing in my video comments? Okay? I'm not kidding you when I say there was doxing of me and my family members and others, like my moderators and stuff. There was racial slurs. There was sexual content. There was basically every nasty thing you could think of, the most vile stuff that a human can say. People started saying it in my video comments just so they would get clipped and put into a highlight video of look what Phil's viewers say in his comments. Okay? So within, I say, about a 2-year period, my comments went from, wow, look at this open discussion, everyone's having a great time, to 99% toxic comments. It actually got so bad, okay? My actual longtime viewers and fans begged me to close the comments on my videos, saying we would much rather just watch the video with no comments than to try to watch your content and then glance down and see this ridiculous toxic filth. Okay? And so I know that sounds weird. I turned off the comments for like 3-4 years. None of my videos had comments. And it was I stayed afloat. I want you to understand how crazy it was. I stayed afloat with no discussion on my content. No one could discuss the videos I put out because there were no comments. Crazy, right? So what ended up eventually happening was YouTube finally instituted a system by which comments can be moderated, meaning there's common words like racial terms, sexual terms, etc., that filter out when someone puts up a comment on a video. Therefore, the comment is either auto-removed or it goes into a queue, and I review that queue daily to see, is that a legit comment? Oh, approve it. Oh, that actually is a troll with a toxic, insulting comment. Ban the person so they can't do it again. And so now that system is in place, my comments are open again. You can comment on my videos, all right? But the problem was that didn't exist for a long time. So I actually had no comments because the trolling was so bad. So, of course, going hand in hand with that, my chat rooms, okay? As you can see right now, my chat rooms are moderated. They're not incredibly heavily moderated, but they are moderated. The bots do catch on things like spam, certain kinds of words, too many emotes, etc. Okay? The reason I don't put the chat on the screen is very simple. If I do, that chat will end up being 90% bots saying terrible things. Like, no lie, right now, there's one guy that we have on the YouTube side of things. He makes something like 50 to 100 sock accounts a day. He comes in there nonstop spamming. And both my mods and myself try to moderate this guy. It's insane. Like, this guy has absolutely no life. He just does it nonstop. And of course, every single comment is ridiculously gross. Just gross, vile stuff, okay? That's one guy. So now if I give incentive, wow, if I actually keep doing this, I'm going to show up in every Phil's video. Every time he does a vlog, every time that he does a podcast, he's going to have the chat. I can get all my sock accounts seen. All my hard work will finally be noticed and recognized by the public. I love it. That these people are nuts. You know? I don't have, here's the thing with Asmongold. You say, well, Asmongold has his chat on the screen. You're right. And here's Asmongold's chat. Flies by like this, right? So even if there is trolling comments, they're gone in 5 seconds. They're gone, right? And there's so many positive chatters in Asmongold's chat. It offsets any kind of stupid stuff that people are trying to say. It's, you know what I mean? For me, I'm a much smaller scale dude. You know, if I had 1,000, 2,000 viewers minimum on a stream here and the chat was flying, I'd be like, well, it's not a big deal. You're right. But the fact that I am a smaller scale guy, I don't have that much attention. And basically my chat moves at a much slower rate. Like, for example, I'm taking a look here right now. It says YouTube chat rate of 9. YouTube measures a chat rate of like how fast things go. And I have a chat rate of 9. That's good. But if you have an active chat, it's more like 17 to 20. Okay? So yeah, like basically you just see these guys trying to screw with the chat. Now again, I'm not saying I appreciate the suggestions. I do. And I'm not saying that this is not something that I'm not going to consider and I won't maybe institute later if things change. we get a more active crowd of people who talk a lot more, then possibly I will actually do something like that for certain videos only. I don't think I ever would want to do that for gameplay videos. I don't think that makes sense. I think for gameplay, you want the real estate to actually be the game and or the face cam, right? You don't want giant sections of your gameplay covered by text. So for that case, probably not. For maybe vlogging, like this video, a podcast, it's a maybe. I'll have to consider it. But again, I think what it would have to be is we have to have more chatters. We have to have more chat rate up. So that way, even if some idiot is trying to do it, they're not the whole chat room. You know what I mean? But basically, this is what I mean. I know that once you give the opportunity for these people to try to get noticed, they take advantage and tenfold. They'll double down, triple down, quadruple down on their efforts because they think they're going to get more attention for it. So that's the reason I know tons of streamers do this. They have the chat on screen. I've literally never done it for that very reason. But I want everyone to know I appreciate these suggestions. These suggestions are great. They can lead to positive improvements, and I want to get them. So please give me your suggestions. I appreciate that very much. Thank you, Buckwell. He says, hello, Phil. How you doing, man? Happy Thanksgiving, Buckwell. I received a $5 tip. From Only Iced Infinite. He says, happy Thanksgiving. I hope your day's going well. My day is going fine. In fact, the only thing... All right. I want you to understand what I'm about to say is not a complaint. I don't want everyone to be like, Phil's a Karen or whatever. But my neighbors have been on vacation for a week. Okay? They've been gone. Like, usually they're quite noisy. They're a family. They have kids and everything. You can always hear the kids running around and everything. And they've been gone for a week. So my wife and I have very much enjoyed them being gone because it's very quiet, very calming here. They came back from their vacation at 6:30 in the morning. So we're all asleep in bed, myself, my wife, and Jasper. And they start making all this ruckus. And now we're all like, what the hell? At 6:30 in the morning, like, oh. So now Jasper wakes up and he's running all over because he's hyper because he hears all this ruckus through the wall next door. And we're like, oh, man. This sucks, and it's Thanksgiving. Like, dude, of all days, it's a holiday, and they come back at 6:30 in the morning on a holiday, and they're stomping and they're screaming. Luckily, you could tell they must have just got off a flight because within maybe 45 minutes, the house went dead silent. They probably passed out in bed, and in fact, they're not making any noise now. I bet they're still sleeping. They probably had like a late night over like red-eye flight, and now they're back. So it is what it is. That's life. We actually got a nice week with no noise next door, which was very much appreciated. So now they're back like, well, what are you going to do? That's what happens when you live in, a condo that has connected walls. There's nothing you can really do about it. You just got to deal with it. So, but yeah, like I didn't get a good night's sleep. I lost about an hour to an hour and a half of sleep because of that noise. And then we tried to get back to sleep. And of course, now Jasper's awake and alert. He doesn't want to go back to sleep. We're like, oh God. So I might need some more coffee. Once again, another day I'm going to need another coffee probably because it's probably going to hit me in like an hour. I'm going to start feeling tired because I lost like 90 minutes of sleep right in the middle of my REM. You get disturbed like, shit. So, but understand this is not me being Karen or complaining. I mean, they have the right to come home from a vacation, it's fine. It's just, it jarred us out of our sleep just happens to be on a freaking national holiday, son of a. Thank you so much, your future stepdad. 1,000 kicks. He says, happy Thanksgiving, friends. Thank you so very much, your future stepdad. Let's actually get that up on the leaderboard. That's our top kicks of the day. No, I'm not going to wake them up loud and make loud noises, although it would be within our rights. I mean, it's midday now. So it would be within our rights to do that, but we're quiet. Jasper doesn't make noise. We don't make noise. The most noise you hear is me talking on a microphone when I'm playing a video game. Like, that's the noise we make in the house. We're quiet. Super quiet. Once I asked my neighbors, I said, do you ever hear me? And the only time we hear you is if it's like the window's open and we're standing in the street in front of your house and you happen to be getting angry at a game or whatever, we can hear your voice echoing out of your window. But that's literally the only time anyone can ever hear me like making noise in here. And now I have these blackout curtains, so probably that blocks a lot of the noise too. Like I doubt that they even hear me that much because this is blocking the audio. They heard the spoon rant for sure. There you go. Jade, everything's been good, man. Everything has been absolutely good and positive. I don't have a negative thing to say at all. Things have been amazing. Thank you guys. For all of you who are here right now, I'm amazed that I have this many people. Like, I haven't looked at Kick yet. We got over 300 viewers on YouTube right now, and I didn't expect to have many or any viewers today because whoa, we have over 100 viewers on Kick. Like, whoa. Again, to be honest, I was not expecting to have many or any viewers today because it's American Thanksgiving, and I thought, people are going to be busy. But the fact that you guys are here, I mean, thank you. I actually have great attendance right now. And here's the thing, too. We can hang out. If you guys want to hang out for like another hour before we play Pokemon, I'm in no rush to get to Pokemon. We don't have to rush into it because we're in endgame. We just got to beat the story, and we're going to see what unlocks with postgame. I'm in no rush. You want to hang out for another hour, I'm down. I'm having a good time just chilling with all of you. Thank you to Lance Catamaran. He gifted a third sub of the day now. Thank you, Lance, for a third gifted sub, excuse me. What happened to the L in your name? There we go. Okay. So thank you, Lance. Someone just asked, would you rather that we watch you on YouTube or Kick since there's actually two options? Well, here's the deal. Doesn't really matter to me, and here's why. If you watch on YouTube, you're helping the engagement, you're helping the channel metrics, and if you're watching with ads enabled, or if you have YouTube Premium, I get paid for advertisements that run on the stream. If you're watching on Kick, I'm in the KCIP program, and I make actual revenue on just you watching in general. So either way you're watching, it benefits. It really doesn't matter to me. Like, there's definitely different benefits. If you're on YouTube, you can watch at 1440p. On Kick, they only let you stream at 1080p quality, so it's less quality on Kick. So that's kind of a trade-off. But some people argue they like Kick better because there's moving emotes and things like that. There's pros and cons to both. It's up to you. It's totally up to you. Your call. Tay says, I have you on my big TV in the family room. No one in my family likes football. This is much more chill. Hello to Tay's family. I'll try not to do anything embarrassing, like take my shirt off or something and freak you all out. I know it's a huge embarrassment to the internet. There's content creators, that's what they do. They'll be like, if you pay me, I'll take my clothes off. They actually do that. I'm not just talking, I'm talking like big hairy dudes that look like walruses actually do that. It's pretty revolting and embarrassing, but I don't do that. Don't worry. I'm family friendly Phil. At least today for Thanksgiving. There you go. Anyway, I wouldn't know anything about that, though. I don't know anyone about like that. Anyway, so when is the Expedition 33 playthrough? Well, here's the plan. Here's the thing. Next week will actually be a shortened streaming week for me. Okay, I'm streaming today, and I'm streaming my marathon for Black Friday tomorrow. I'm off from streaming on Saturday. I come back on Sunday. It's a normal streaming day. On Monday, Wings of Redemption is coming on as a guest on the Level 1 podcast for the second time ever. We've got a lot to catch up on. Apparently, a lot has happened over there in the last month. He's been playing Call of Duty. Apparently, trolls stole his ability to play Battlefield 6, which is really messed up. And some other stuff. I want to talk to him. I want to find out what's going on with him. All right, so he's coming on as a guest on Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday will be regular stream days, but then I'm off on both Thursday and Friday of next week because I have personal commitments and things I have to do. When I get back, which would be Saturday, right? Because I'm taking off Thursday, Friday. Yeah. We've got the release of Metroid Prime 4. I'm supposedly, this isn't a guarantee, I'm supposedly getting into the Marvel Tokon beta, which is a new fighting game coming out next year. Supposedly, I got into the beta, and they're going to send me a code for it. Okay, so I already going to have 2 new things to be doing when I get back from my couple days off. And then we still are probably going to be doing things like some Call of Duty. We're going to be trying to finish up Mario Galaxy 2. We're going to be trying to finish up Tormented Souls 2. So we're going to do our best to get through all the stuff we're doing. I would say once we get through that stuff, so maybe we're talking maybe like early to middle December, that we're going to be looking for new playthroughs and things. And I absolutely think Expedition 33 Act 3 is something that we should do in December. If you guys are on board for it, which it seems like you are, I'm talking to people in the chat, they're like, yeah, we love Expedition 33. We watched Asmongold play it, and we thought it was a great game. I agree. It's actually one of my favorite games in a long time, but sadly, my audience didn't like it that much. So I had to basically just do the basics, play Act 1, Act 2, and then that was it. I didn't have opportunity to go back and play Act 3. I would absolutely love to play Act 3 for you guys if you agree to come by and engage and hang out and support those streams. When I was playing Expedition 33, I had the lowest attendance, lowest engagement, and lowest support levels of the entire year. I'm serious. Like, I had a stream where I streamed for like 3-4 hours. I made like $20 and there was like 100 viewers. So it sucked. Like, what can I do? I have to maintain a business and, you know, do things that people want to see. Why else am I streaming? I'm not streaming for myself. I'm streaming for an audience. If the audience is here for it, I'm here for it. I love the game and I want to play more of it. I was actually quite disappointed when I hit the point where I couldn't play it anymore. Okay? Papa Meow Meow with a 5-pound super chat says, take off one sock. You want me to take my socks off? No. I'm not going to take my socks off. That's ludicrous. What a silly thing to say or to even request. I will not entertain you. Thank you for that. Excuse me. Hold on one second. Apollo says the Simeon boss is crazy. You might hate how the fight goes. He's the toughest boss in the game. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I mean, I played Lost Odyssey and I did the super fights in that. I played Blue Dragon. I did all the super fights in that. I mean, it's been a long time, but, you know, I'm used to playing epic turn-based challenging stuff, you know. Do I know what kind of Lego set I might want to get on Black Friday? No, I want to see what they have, you know, some ideas. I know that there's like a Street Fighter Lego set that's not really Street Fighter, but it simulates a Street Fighter cabinet, and it has like the characters, so it looks pretty cool. That's not Lego, it's like another brand, but still, it's the same premise. And then officially, Lego has the giant Super Mario World Mario riding Yoshi, and it has a crank that actually moves like the sprites of Super Mario World. I think that'd be awesome to have like in the background 1 month as one of the sides here behind me, right? That'd be sick. So, just saying, that might be something cool to look for tomorrow. There might be others too. Like, we may find other Lego builds that look cool and they're on sale. Maybe we'll get one of those. Maestro, $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Remove your shirt and give the fans what they desire. No, because that wouldn't be for the fans. That would be for the OnlyFans. There you go. Thanks for $10. Thanks for $10. And I don't make that kind of content, all right? Listen, come on now. Remember, I'm the guy who for like 4 years, I was the guy that I put clothes on. People would contribute because they wanted to see me put on a hat, put on a vest. They wanted me to cover up more because they were all appalled at how I looked. They were like, dude, put something on. You have a paper bag for your face? I would put, okay, I never put a paper bag on. That's true. But still, you know, I would put the clothes on. I was the opposite of what they were doing. That was the running joke. Evelyn, welcome. Evelyn says, I'm here from your chat with Asmongold. No, I'm here for your appearance with Asmongold. I loved your chat. I did too. I absolutely loved it, man. I should switch to different sunglasses? What do you mean? You don't think that my Ray-Bans are good enough? I need to get new sunglasses? Why? These are nice. I cured it with my brain says, now's a great time to buy storage hard drives. For Black Friday sales, I got a 28 terabyte drive for $289. That's awesome. Whoa, 28 terabytes for $289? That's huge. Holy crap, that's awesome, actually. Personally, I don't really need them. Like, I don't really have anything that I really need to back up or store. I bought a whole bunch of SSDs last year. So I got 2 SSDs in my gaming PC, 2 SSDs in my storage, or excuse me, in my streaming and capture PC. I think I'm good on the storage. What I need is to upgrade the set. I need a new desk, new chair, gaming monitors or monitors so I can monitor everything from here and not be staring at a screen across the room over there. That's very hard for me to even read anymore because my eyesight's going because I'm getting older. I'm not looking at a gaming TV over here that has some input delay. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to do. I want to really upgrade. And by the way, I was thinking about this. So now if I do that, I also need speakers. Because if I'm using a monitor instead of a TV, I need to get a way to get the audio. So I'm probably going to have to buy a set of speakers, a good set, and I'll probably put them back there. So that way they're not in my face and the microphone doesn't pick them up. But I'll probably have them back there against the wall, maybe either a sound bar or a couple really good speakers. We'll have to see what they have. So that's something that I need to get if I'm going to upgrade the setup. And just odds and ends too. Like, that's the thing. You think, oh, it'll be easy. No, actually, there's a ton of stuff. Let's say if I'm getting a new chair, well, I can't just get a new chair. I also got to get a mat that the chair sits on, right? What about my background? Well, guess what? If I upgrade my setup, this stuff probably won't be good enough anymore for my background because it's going to be a totally different level. Like, if I get a new desk, undoubtedly the desk will probably be a little bit higher up, and maybe this is the wrong level now. The chair's going to probably be higher up. You know what I mean? So, yeah, all these things have to be considered for what I'm going to get tomorrow. We have to think about it. It's going to be interesting, but, and by the way, because people are like, well, how's that going to work? Well, I might order it all tomorrow and then set it up next week. Like, let's say it all shows up over the next couple of days. So maybe I do a couple of streams where instead of gameplay, we just hang out and I build the desk and I build the chair and I set it all up. I put the monitors up and I spatially test them out. Then I could take pictures of it and send it and show you on the internet, here's my setup now. Here's how it looks. I think that'd be pretty cool to hang out next week and do like a big upgrade. But we got to see what I find. I want to find good deals. I don't want to like basically get ripped off or anything. Everything should be on sale, right? So we'll have to see what we can find. Will I get any cologne tomorrow? I don't need any cologne. I have lots of good colognes. I don't need any cologne. Happy Thanksgiving, King Michael. How's it going for you, man? You doing well? Yes, I stopped playing Street Fighter 6. That's correct. I got quite bored of it. And literally, that's the reason I stopped. I just was bored of it. It wasn't exciting anymore. The game became too repetitive to the same kind of gameplay over and over that it just wasn't fun to play anymore. It's super boring. Battleduck says you could probably stack some Apple boxes or get cheap display stands. Exactly. That's probably what I'll do. I'll have to get like a display stand or something behind me. Because here's the thing. I want it to show off stuff for my backdrop, but I also don't want it to block too much. It has to be the right height. That's the thing. Like, no matter what, if I upgrade, the desk is going to be higher. The chair is going to be higher. My background's going to look different. My background is going to be lifted up. So you're going to see different sections of this now. Like, instead of my head being here, it's going to be like up here. So it's going to look different. Camera angles and everything are going to have to be adjusted. I'm not going to put speakers on my chair. Yes, if there were speakers on my chair, it would mess with the microphone. Correct. That's why I can't do stuff like that. I have to have basic audio. I'm going to get either a sound bar or speakers. I'm going to put it right where my TV is right now. We already know audio coming from over there doesn't get picked up by the mic. So I'm just going to put the speakers over there. Why did I get bored with Street Fighter 6? In a nutshell, because the game is insanely repetitive. When you get to a certain level of play, basically every single character has one way to play them, like one pattern you use. And once you know the pattern, everyone plays exactly the same. Like, I got to master level, and in master level, every single Cammy you face is exactly the same. It's boring as hell, and it's just not fair. Like, the game's not well balanced. So there's like 5 or 6 characters that dominate the whole cast. Some of the characters I like I really like Lily. She's the worst character in the game. They've updated the game like 5 times since it came out. Guess who they never improved? Lily. They just don't care. They keep tweaking the characters everyone uses most, and they don't touch the ones that people don't. Therefore, the game never gets interesting. It's just the same stuff over and over. I'm so bored with it, I just don't care about it anymore. I was good. I had like 7, 8 characters in Master Rank, and I was playing it regularly, and then I just got tired of seeing the exact same thing every time I played. Like, dude, this is just not fun anymore. I'm super bored. So I just quit it. Just didn't want to play it anymore. SR Trumbull with a £2 super chat says, have you spoken to Asman again offline as friends? Once. I thanked him very much for his time and let him know how much I appreciated the fact that he did that for me. And basically, he was like, yeah, no problem at all. My viewers actually really liked it. So, and that was it. That's where we left it. Thank you to Gold Skull 2007 who just gifted a sub. Thank you so much, Gold Skull, for the gifted over on Kick. I appreciate that. Why speakers and not headphones from a newcomer? His name is Year of Shorty. Well, it's not that I don't use headphones. I do use headphones for certain games. Like, for example, when I play Call of Duty, I need headphones. But the weirdest thing happened. This, to me today, I still don't really understand it. So I started live streaming in 2013 and also direct capture. That's when I started doing direct capture live streaming instead of like pointing a camera at my TV. I started using headphones. So from 2013 all the way through 2020, daily, I had headphones on all day long. All of a sudden in 2020, I started getting chronic ear infections. So bad, and not in one ear, in both ears. And it was so bad that it felt like someone was actually like throbbingly stabbing me with a screwdriver into my eardrum. And I would be laid out for a day or two until it went away. I had to keep getting medicine and putting it in my ears all day. And it would go away, and then it would come back. And then it would go away, and it would come back. I had it like 5 times in 2020. So finally, after that, I was like, I guess I shouldn't be wearing headphones. So I phased out wearing headphones entirely. You'll see for a few years, I actually had neck phones, which is this wireless device you put around your neck, and it projects the audio to your ears to do like simulated surround sound. It's all right, but the problem is you can't really hear music. You can hear voices well, but you can't even really hear music. For 2-3 years, I barely ever heard the soundtracks of any video games that I play. Okay? So basically, that went on all through around, I think it was early last year. And then finally, I had enough. I was like, this is so frustrating. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade my setup. And I did. I put filters on my microphone and everything. So now I get the audio through my TV and it sounds really good. And you don't hear it on the mic. Okay? So that's how I do it now for regular games. Like today with Pokemon, I'll be listening to the audio through the TV. You won't hear it on the mic. But for certain FPS games and things where I need surround sound, I still do use the headphones. So now I don't get them. I don't get the infections anymore because I phased out the use of the headphones in general, but I do still use them sporadically. And when I do, I don't get the infections. I think if I used them all day, every day, I'd probably start getting the infections again, but I don't do that. It sucks. I mean, it was shocking. How do I stream for 7 straight years and not have a problem? Then all of a sudden, chronic infections. Like, what is going on? Weird stuff. Jade says, I watched and played Street Fighter 6, and he says he didn't like watching anymore because it was always Cammy and Ken. You're right. That's the other thing about Street Fighter 6, again, because it was only a few characters. It was like JP, Jury, Ken, Cammy. I'm trying to think who was like top at the end there. Oh, Ed. Ed was like one of the top characters when I stopped playing it. I don't know if he still is now, but it was like 6 characters. They dominated the entirety of the game. Almost every time you played the game, you were fighting exactly the same characters and they played exactly the same techniques. It just got boring. I don't want to face 17 Kens today when I go online to play the game. It's boring. So I just didn't care to play anymore. I just gave it up. I'm not having fun. I'm dropping this game. I'm bored. Thank you so much, Paz. Paz is also complimenting me on the Asmongold interview. JDTV asked, do I believe UFOs are real and alone in the universe? I don't know about what you mean by alone in the universe. I'm an open-minded guy. People always say this. Do you believe in the paranormal? Do you believe in supernatural? Do you believe in UFOs and outer space beings and things? I'm an open-minded dude. I'm willing to accept that they exist if you present some evidence to me that it does. In my life, personally, I've never had a paranormal encounter. I've never seen a UFO. I've never had a close encounter or anything that made me feel like these things may exist. But I'm open to exploring and I'm open to experiences. And hey, if something happened and it was like, I would be open to saying, oh, God, maybe there is something we don't understand. Because in truth, when you think about this stuff, right? Like, for example, there is footage of unidentified flying objects that are moving so fast, logically and scientifically, we can't explain it. So, what does that mean? It means that we haven't scientifically discovered everything. There's stuff out there we don't know yet. We haven't documented it, and scientifically, we don't understand it. That's the unknown, right? That's the great unknown. Is it paranormal? Is it an alien? Who knows what it is? It's cool, I think, to think that there's stuff out there we just don't understand yet. Because to be frank, if we knew everything, wouldn't life be pretty boring? If everything was always confined to a certain rule set and there was nothing that possibly could be more, wouldn't life actually just feel like it's too controlled and just not that interesting? The saying. So I'm open-minded. I'm not going to be like, oh, I don't believe in this or that. But at the same time, if I don't see anything that makes me experience like it would exist, then I'm not going to also be like, oh yeah, it definitely exists. Like either way is fine. Battle Duck says, if I had presented to you an SSD 20 years ago, so a solid state drive, would you have believed me that it was a data storage device? Yes, because 20 years ago, we did have memory cards. There were memory cards that you were putting into cameras, digital cameras to store photos. But if you were to tell me this stores insano amounts of data, like ridiculous amounts of data, I'd laugh at you because back then the memory cards that we were selling at Circuit City where I worked for cameras would store like 30 pictures. Pictures, not games. Pictures. Okay? So that's how small it was back then. That's how fast technology moves. In 20 years, that little memory card now stores, a wealth of knowledge. Insane amounts. Satan, how are you? We got Satan in the chat for Thanksgiving. How you doing, Satan? Good morning and happy Thanksgiving to you. There you go. I cured it with my brain, says send Phil to Area 51 to investigate. Well, I'd probably get arrested. I'd be the one to get arrested, so probably not. No, I'm serious about this. Early on in my YouTube career, when it felt like the sky was the limit because I was getting so many views. I mean, I was getting sometimes almost up to 20 million views a month on my channel. And that was a lot back then. Now today, YouTubers get like 1 million views a day. But back then that wasn't the case, okay? To get the views I was getting was like astronomically huge. And I was, to be honest, making so much money on ad revenue back then that I was like, dude, I could probably do anything and people would watch it. And one of the things that I actually legitimately wanted to do was perhaps investigate paranormal activity. Like I would be there with others, like people who are more experts and they have the actual equipment and everything. But I would be like a part of a team that would actually go into one of these haunted houses and see, is there anything there? Or is it all just baloney? Because I would be going in as an open-minded skeptic, thinking it could be real, but I've never experienced Jack. So are you guys? And by the way, if when I was going to do it, I was actually going to be real. Like you might have someone on the team who's the over-exaggerator. Did you hear that? Oh, I'm a clairvoyant. Did you hear that? Do you feel that? And I'd be like, no, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I'm waiting. I'm listening, But then maybe I would actually hear something. I'd be like, oh, and then I'd be honest about it. I'd be like, oh shit, like that actually is happening right now. I think that would be fast. Imagine a team that's not just fake, because that's the thing. All those shows are fucking fake. They're all just, we have to overact, because imagine if there was a show that nothing happened, then no one would care, right? But instead have a show where you have the overactor, you have the scientific person, you have the layman like me, and it's like a team of different people going in actually trying to say what they experienced. And at the end of the day, one person might be like, I felt like there was something there, and the same person that was there with them would be like, no, there was nothing there. So I think that would be fascinating. That's actually an idea I had that I wanted to do. But, basically what happened was within a few years of me being hyper popular on YouTube, all that popularity went away and there was no possibility to do anything. No one wanted to do nothing with me. So that was the end of that idea. No, I've never been to a haunted house. Never. Like I said, I've never had a paranormal experience in my life at all. Battleduck says, in a parallel reality, we have that show. You shit talk your opposite co-hosts the whole time and make over-sexualized jokes to this day. All right. Yes, as this would never happen, but you're right. Imagine if you were watching one of these ghost hunter shows and one of the ghost hunters says, I think I heard something. It's the ghost of, the old woman who used to own this manor. And so I burst into the bedroom and I say, Mrs. Jones, take your top off. Now that would be a spin on the formula. That's for sure. But that's not going to happen. For those who don't know, that's the kind of commentary I used to do all the time in my videos, like back in the day. Like we're talking 10 years ago. Like literally, it was a different era. I was trying to appeal to a group of teenagers on YouTube. So I purposefully always said the ridiculous, over-exaggerated jokes, the sexual, racial, that kind of stuff to get the rise out of people who are watching. And teenagers loved it. Oh man, that's why I got my popularity on YouTube. When people watch my gameplay videos, they'd be like, this guy just says whatever. It's nuts. Like, you don't know what he's going to say today. Like, there's a game, I don't even remember what game it was, but basically it starts off in the Middle East. You're an undercover guy. Like, you're basically trying to infiltrate, like, terrorists in the Middle East. And the whole first segment of my gameplay was like Al-Qaeda cops, where I pretend like this is an episode of Cops being filmed by Al-Qaeda. And, I'm talking in the accent. I'm talking about Jihad Idol. Like, I just watched it on TV. Like, it's a show over there on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy over-the-top stuff. And people loved it. That brought in the views. That brought in the money. That's what people wanted back then. Society as a whole has changed a lot in the last 10 to 15 years. So, yeah. Don't do that stuff anymore. All right. Well, now we have a way bigger audience on the stream right now. Thank you guys. Again, I'm shocked that many or any of you are here. I didn't think that I would get much of an audience today because it is American Thanksgiving, and the fact that I have over 350 viewers on YouTube and something like way over 100 on Kick. How many do we have on Kick right now? Like 150? Holy wow. Well, thank you. I had no clue. Again, you guys are amazing. Thank you for coming by to hang out with me today. We'll hang out for a little longer since you guys seem to like hanging out, but we are going to play Pokemon. There is going to be Pokemon Legends ZA. We're going to finish the story, and then we're going to, then we're going to see what the post-game content is of the game, because I have no clue what it actually is. And then we're going to just, hang out for the rest of the stream. So it'll be a good one, okay? It'll be a good one. And that's it. No late stream tonight because I will be spending time with my wife for Thanksgiving. We'll be having a great meal together and all of that, okay? So we can still hang out a little bit longer. And whatever you guys want to chat about. If you want, just tag me in the chat. If contributions come in, I'll shout them out. I'll update the leaderboard. But that's not what today is about. Today is just, it's Thanksgiving, man. It's just time to chill and enjoy each other's company and just have some chill vibes and have a good time. When am I going to do the SpongeBob DSP Tries It? Next week. Next week. I think it comes out on the 2nd. I want to say this is the Burger King SpongeBob collab meal. I think it comes out next week on the 2nd. I think it's December 2nd. Basically, it's dependent on when this stuff shows up in the apps to order. As soon as it's available to order, I can order it on any day. Whatever you guys want to do. Okay? Shout out to Shangololo Tati, who did a super chat. I have to see what this one is because it is a currency I'm not familiar with. ZAR? Z-A-R? That is a South African currency. And so the 140 ZAR is $8.16. They say, let's go. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Shangololo. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. We're at 165 right now, I think. See what I mean? I'm not lying. I can't read the leaderboard. What's happened is my eyesight's gone to the point I can't actually read to say that could be 165. That could be 185. And I actually have to wait for the big text to scroll by to even see it. Okay, it's 165. So now we're at 173. You see, I need to get that. I need to have that screen here at this point. Like, I can't even see it. It's too far away. So that's definitely why I want to upgrade the setup. So thank you, Shangalolo. I guess we'll do this now. So here's the deal. I don't have goals on stream anymore. Okay? I don't. We don't have goal milestones. DSP tries it. We're going to do it whenever I feel like it. Okay? But once a stream, I'll say, guess what? Thank you all for a very well-supported stream. You guys are absolutely awesome. You're coming out in droves just to hang out on my streams with me. I appreciate any support that you lend. You guys are absolutely amazing. I'm living the dream because of you, and I am eternally grateful. Thank you so very, very much for supporting all of my efforts here on the channel. I really appreciate it. There you go. There you go. And we'll probably do that like once a stream. Like I said, maybe I'll do that again. For example, let's say a huge contribution comes in. Someone comes in here and does something crazy, right? We could do this. Instead of this, we could do... Oh, hold on. No, I wasn't ready for it. Where the hell is it? What the... Hold on. Oh, here we go. So instead of doing that, then I could switch it to this. And I could be like, holy crap, someone just did a huge contribution on the stream. Thank you to hypothetical person who just dropped a ridiculous amount of support. That is absolutely amazing, and I'm so appreciative because this is really going to help out, and thank you so much. You know what I'm saying? So we could just do that, you see? I have this one, too. Hold on. What does this sound like? What do you think about this one? I don't think I've ever used this one. Yeah. That's okay. I think the other one's better, right? The other one's better, this one. This sounds more regal, I think. Okay. But anyway, we'll just have it on back. So if I get a giant, like, very generous contribution, I'll probably play that animation just to be silly and to say thanks. But for the most part, again, there's no goals, there's nothing. We're good. All right? Excellent. Thank you, that's not even English, whatever your name is. He says, happy Thanksgiving to you and your partner. You mean my wife? Well, thank you very much. Appreciate that. No, I'll be going to the eye doctor. Trust me, I'll be going to the eye doctor soon. Right now, I cannot read anything up close at all. Like mid-range, I can see. I can see the laptop screen right here in front of me. I can actually see everything on my television perfectly fine. But, like, I can't see the monitor all the way across over there very well anymore. I can see it, but not great. And I can't see anything close. Like, anything that's, like, here or closer, I can't see it shit. Right now, like, I'll be on my phone and trying to read. I can't read it. I'm like, oh, fuck, I can't see anything. I need my glasses. I do have reading glasses. I have 3 pairs of these that I have throughout the house. Okay? And then I put these on. So now here's the funny part. Now... Oh, I can read my phone perfectly. It's crystal clear. I can't see anything else. I can't read that. I can't read this. I can't read shit. Everything's blurry. I'm like, I can't see. I'm like Mr. Magoo. I'm like, oh. So what I need to do, I need to get some kind of glasses where it's going to have both, where I can look through one lens to see close and maybe another lens to see further. And, and get my eyes tested and all of that. So... I'll be doing that probably next year. That's one of the big focuses that I'm going to do. I have to get it. What else am I going to do, right? I'm getting older. I actually just talked to my dad about this last week. I said, Dad, when did your eyes start to go where you needed glasses? And he said, 45. Well, I'm 43. So I beat him by 2 years. There you go. So there you go. Very Epic Man says, with a larger, more positive audience, do you feel it possible to play PS2 or OG Xbox games since you missed them? I mean, for me, the limitation really is how would you play them? Because, sadly, I hate to say it, they don't make them accessible, right? You would think that, for posterity purposes, they would try to make these games accessible in some way, but especially old PlayStation games, it's hard, right? Now, emulation is always a possibility. Like, let's say, for example... there is no availability of those games anywhere to purchase them. I would consider emulating if there's demand. But the thing is, I never really had that demand. When I first started on YouTube, I had missed out on that whole PS2 era of games, and a lot of those games were being re-released in like modern collections. So, for example, I played Jack and Daxter 1, 2, 3 in a collection. I played Ratchet and Clank 1, 2, 3 in a collection. You see? I cured it with my brain says, are you at the point you don't see the difference between 4K and 1080p? Oh, no. 4K, you definitely see the difference in detail, for sure. You see more in the texturing, more in the fine features. The thing is, depending on what your game you're playing, you probably don't need those details. A lot of games are so fast-paced action moving, who cares about the details if everything's blurred and moving anyway, you know? But no, I do see the difference between 4K and 1080p, for sure I do. I've already played Conker's Bad Fur Day. Yes, there is a playthrough of it on DSPGaming that you can find. No, I just played GTA 5 last year, wasn't it? Or 2 years ago? I'm not gonna play it again before GTA 6. We already did it. I tried playing Divinity Original Sin 2. We played for, like, a ridiculously long time. I wanna say, like, 40, 50, 60 hours. But then the audience got insanely bored, and we moved on and did other stuff. We never continued it. So I put a lot of time into it, but we never finished it. Oh, yeah? You're Not Funny says his father had laser eye surgery, and now people call him Eagle Eyes because he can spot a dime across the living room. Wow. Will I be playing Bubsy 40 when it comes out? I don't know. I bought the Bubsy collection, but it's not the Bubsy 40 isn't out yet, right? Yeah, I don't know. Again, if you guys are interested. Okay. And by the way, for the record, I said this last night on the late stream. Since there's so many of you here now, I'm going to say it again. Okay? In the last few days, since so many newcomers are now coming to my streams and content and watching, I've gotten several complaints from newcomers who are trying to watch on Kick. Okay? And if you want to know what it is, they're saying the Kick chat is too toxic. What's happening is people are going over there and people are saying all kinds of stuff about money and fundraising. And as you know, I don't do it anymore. I don't have goals. I'm not asking for support, begging for support. I'm done. I phased it out. Those people don't like me because they're mad that I don't work with drama creators anymore. So they sit there and they say awful things in the chat. And actual people are saying, Phil, I'm a newcomer. I joined you on Kick and I was turned off by the chat. Those people were being like really, real mean. They were saying, hey, why aren't you contributing? And they were doing fucked up stuff like that. Not allowed. And if I see it, you're instantly banned and you're never coming back. That you're done. I'm just making it clear. You don't get to do that in my chat. It's my chat. If I want to do that, if I make the choice to say, I'm actively going to ask for a contribution today, then I'll do that. And it'll be on me, not on you. You don't get to make that choice. Behave, because if you don't, I'm going to get you out of there. Now, as I've said, I understand there's a trolling element in the Kick chat. I get paid for their attendance, but I don't get paid enough for you to scare away new viewers because you're a selfish douchebag. So because you think you're funny, you're going to try to act like that when you know that there's an active change that's positive going on. No, you're not going to act like that. You're going to be gone. So just making it clear, I'm laying down the law. You will get the hell out of my chat if you're going to act like that. Act like a normal, free, and human. Excuse me. Okay, so I'd say, let's hang out for like maybe another 20 minutes and maybe like 1 p.m. we'll stop and I'll take a break and then we'll come back and we'll hang out and play Pokemon for like 2.5, 3 hours. Okay? So we'll hang out for like another 20 minutes or so. Whatever you guys want to talk about. I already talked about Thanksgiving and what we'll be eating and stuff like that. But I'm curious, what you guys are up to today, if you want to talk about it at all. Yeah, I mean, again, you have to understand something. People that act like that in my chat are not my fans. These are the people who are LARPers. They pretend to be my fans so that then they can actually turn off real people who are coming in who are interested in the content. They literally sit there. They don't like me. They have no life. So they sit in the chat all day just trying to turn off people who maybe won't be interested in what I'm doing. That's positive and fun and for the better, of my content. They don't want me to succeed. So, well, Phil's not going to beg. I'm going to beg and I'm going to scream at people who come by and I'm going to say that I want contributions. No, you're not. Absolutely not. That's not happening. See, like this guy says, Cute sweater, my lord. My ex-wife has the same one. I wasn't aware your ex-wife was a cross-dresser, but more power to her, I guess. Whatever she wants to do. I don't know what that is. What is Where Wind Meets? Where Wind Meets? What is that? Never heard of it. Oh, that's very much the case. Sadly, and a lot of these people who are very negative are very internet focused. Okay? Basically, sadly, there are people who have no positives in their life. Or if they do, they don't appreciate them. So instead of focusing on the positive things that they have in life and trying to improve themselves and the things around them for others, they seek to actually destroy good things that are on the internet that they don't have. So instead of me going out and hanging out with my friends and family, finding a significant other to spend meaningful time with, seek employment that would be constructive, and I could pay bills with the money I earn at it. Instead, they go online and they just sit there messing with people all day. It adds nothing to society. Literally, it is a complete waste of time, breath, and life, but they have no one to tell them otherwise. I want you to think about that. If there's someone who spends all of their time, they're eternally online, no one checks in on them, no one's aware that this is how they behave. Isn't that a little odd? Isn't that kind of a problem in our culture? That we have people who are actually plugged into these toxic communities of networking online to troll people and mess with people, but no one like intervenes and says, what is going on? This is what you do all day? Because in truth, those of us who live in the real world, who have lives, when we hear about this level of depravity, we're shocked. We're like, I can't imagine that someone would actually, live like that, be like that, waste their time like that. But that's because we have things going on for us. They don't. So because they don't, they actually latch onto these online communities of toxic people who have nothing. And that is their existence, is actually to be awful to people on the internet. And it's a messed up, splintered group of people, and they're forming this online hate culture. It's disgusting. Now, the thing is, people profit on it. So because of that, this culture kind of gets pushed to the forefront and sometimes even gets featured and or acted like it's good. It's not. It's very, very bad for human existence. It's very bad for human society to have this weird underculture hiding eternally online in the shadows of the internet. And at any moment, one of them can snap and do something messed up because it's happened before. You've had people do awful things, stalking people, attacking people, swatting people, you know? As a culture, at one point, we have to finally acknowledge the existence of these online communities, these places that people have this kind of behavior, this basically deviant behavior, and we need to start exposing them for what they are, calling them out, and shutting them down. Because it's the same as any kind of a gang. It's the same mentality. It's just it's online rather than offline. It's a people who are acting together, concerted effort to hurt others, to either get ahead or get their jollies off or whatever the hell it is. But it definitely is a gang. It's an online bullying gang of people who think they get away with it because they're anonymous and they're online. Well, it needs to end. We need to, as a society, say, well, if we're going to be online all the time, if we're going to have online banking, if we're going to have online commerce, if we're going to have online gaming and online cultural discussion communities and social media, and we're going to have streaming, then we need to have someone actually look at what people are doing online, not act like, oh, that's just kiddie stuff. No, it's real because a lot of people are online all day. And we got to put up with these weird, abhorrent deviants who act in these awful ways. And we should have protections against it, not just ignore that it exists. We should actually have a way to focus in on who these people are, find out who they are, why they act that way, and to fix the problem. Because that's the truth. It's a problem. These people need to have a course correction, not just be ignored or act like they don't exist. We need to expose them. It's like lifting up the mat, and under the mat, there's a bunch of freaking bugs. And you shine the light and the bugs scurry away. That's what has to happen. Well, John says, their punishment is their own existence. In a way, I can understand that. Because, for example, I've told this story before. When I was in my 20s, okay, I was miserable with my own life, and I was an internet troll. Like, I trolled people in the Street Fighter community because I just didn't like what I had going on in my own life. I was miserable, and therefore, I didn't like the fact that other people maybe were doing better than me, and I wanted to make them miserable too. So I would troll them online, on forums, in chat rooms. I would talk shit about them and make stuff up about them and laugh at them. And it was a messed up existence. So the thing is, I've been there. and I know what it's like. But now that I'm older and wiser and more mature, I'm like, man, I wish I never did it. Because once you become the subject of that level of harassment and bullying, then you're like, wow. Now you look at it from a different perspective entirely. Like, dude, how many people did I hurt back then? And luckily, I had self-realization, and I actually went back and I actually apologized to some of the people from that community who I actually been quite nasty to, because I really shouldn't have behaved in the way that I did. But the thing is, that was like 20 years ago, and I was like the exception to the rule. Today, we have entire online communities of people who act like this, and they think it's fine. They think this is okay behavior because I found other people who also want to bully people. That's fine. It's not. This could actually splinter human culture. You could actually have this weird subculture of like deviant people who just want to hurt others. That should not be acceptable or allowed at any level. We have to find out who these people are and figure out what's their major malfunction before they go too far. True. Dakota Nader says, it's hard to be happy if you just don't have anything going on in your life, which can be tough. I get that. I get that. That's why I ask, so where are the family members? Where are the friends? Where are the people who should be caring about those people? These people who sit eternally online, bullying people, laughing at the misfortune of others. Why is no one aware they're doing that and saying, what is wrong with you? Dude, wise up, shape up, stop just sitting around in a bedroom trolling people on the internet. Like, what kind of an existence is that? I don't understand why no one intervenes. I'm actually like shocked that there's this many people who are ignored. But then again, take a look at all the mass violence and the problems we've had in the United States in the last few years. A random school shooting occurs, which is a horrendous action. And then the family says, we didn't know that this person was crazy. How? They had a bedroom full of homemade guns and bombs. They were writing all over social media that they wanted to murder people. How did you not know? Do you just ignore that person always, never even talk to them and act like they don't exist? You think maybe that's a fucking problem? Because I have a hard time believing that when these people act out like this, right? They're bullying people online. They have these weird, abhorrent thoughts. No one's aware. Do they all just live in this weird underground bunker we're not aware of, completely hidden from modern society? We don't know that they exist until they act out. I'm a little lost on that. Like, I think that maybe there are signs, but a lot of humans are like, we can't be bothered with them because we only care about ourselves. Well, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to finally start caring about this because it's obvious this culture exists and it's getting worse. Cyber Elk, how are you doing, man? Getting off on a different foot. Cyber Elk with a €5 super chat. He says, happy Thanksgiving. Ever thought about movie reacts like planes, trains, and automobiles, and we can have your reaction playing while watching it? Hold on. Excuse me. What do you mean? Do you mean like a riff tracks? Because obviously there's no way that I could actually do like a live watch party react. That doesn't exist anymore. It did it once. At one point they had like watch parties where you could all have like a subscription to a service and you could all watch a thing together and you could have someone doing commentary and everyone could enjoy it. Now that's gone by the wayside because now every single piece of copywritten media, every kind of licensed media, all gets copyright claimed, content ID taken down. So I'm curious to what capacity you think that could be possible? Like, how exactly would it work? I would love to watch some of the movies that I love from my youth. I would love to watch, like Clue or Ghostbusters or, some of the movies that I love and actually do some commentary on them. I have absolutely no idea how that would ever be possible. I don't think it would be. You guys remember the watch party stuff, right? Like, I think it was through Xbox where you could have like the Netflix app, I think it was, or it was a certain app, and they allowed you to do a public watch party where other people could join your viewing session and watch along with you, and you could voice chat with other people while you did it. Remember that? Happy Thanksgiving to you, Jimmy Jam. I hope that you're having a good day. Everyone out there right now who's watching, I hope you're having a good day, a good Thanksgiving. Really, I do. Thank you for spending some time with me here today and just hanging out on the channel. It's been a great time to hang out with you guys. Really has. I've enjoyed it so far. And we are going to do some Pokemon gameplay. We're just hanging out for a couple hours because you guys have been a great audience. I said, why not just hang out for a couple hours? We're in no rush, right? Oh, so I have an update. We should talk about this now. Actually, this is a great time to talk about this. So tomorrow, everyone, I'm doing a marathon. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to be streaming from about 11 in the morning all the way through like 8, 9, 10 p.m. at night, depending on how the marathon goes, okay? It's one continuous stream. I don't stop broadcasting, but we're going to be doing a wide variety of stuff. First off, I'm going to be drinking. I bought a big bottle of liquor just for this event, and I'll be casually sipping on the liquor from time to time during the stream. No longer am I going to tie that to financial goals. Instead, it's just going to be, I feel like taking a shot, and then I'm going to take one, okay? We're going to be playing a variety of games. We're going to play some Call of Duty Black Ops 7. We're going to do some American Truck Simulator. And big update announcement, Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection launched an online arcade beta. This test is allowing people to try to actually play the game online for the first time since the game came out. The beta launched about like 4 or 5 days ago. I haven't tested it because I wasn't aware it existed. Well, now it does. So I'm like, oh, why not tomorrow? Why don't we give it a shot? And more than likely, people are saying, well, what game will you play? Mortal Kombat 3, like either regular MK3 or Ultimate 3 would be the ones that I play because that's the ones that are more competitive. So that's what I'm going to try. Now, it might suck. It's a beta. It might not be good, but I'd like to at least give it a try, okay? So we'll probably do that tomorrow as well. So we'll have at least 3 different kind of games that we'll be playing. But in addition, one of the major things we're going to be doing is going on Amazon and essentially seeing what are the Black Friday deals that they have. Do they have good gaming monitors on sale? Do they have a desk? Do they have a chair? Do they have speakers? You know, the other things I would need, like HDMI cables, the mat for under the chair. Can I maybe order a whole bunch of stuff? A controller, a new Lego build, right? Can we do that tomorrow? The answer may be yes, it may be no. It depends on what we find. Also, to be transparent with all of you, okay? So I'm on Kick, and Kick actually pays me once a week, which is awesome. I mean, you name another online, place that you stream, they pay you once a week. Kick is crazy good in that regard. They're supposed to pay me today, but it's Thanksgiving, and they're not paying me. Like right now, the money isn't coming through. So, all this great stuff that's happened this week is amazing, but I don't really have any of it yet because I have to get paid. YouTube won't pay me till next month. Yeah, and Kick hasn't paid yet. So what I'm hoping is that Kick is actually going to pay tomorrow rather than today, because it would have been today. But being that today is an American holiday, I think that the banks and everything would be closed anyway. So I'm hoping that tomorrow we're back to business as usual. And really? Is that true? Because I don't believe you because you're a troll. I don't even know why I listened to that. I shouldn't have listened to that because that's a troll talking. Yeah, so I'm hoping that they will pay. And therefore, if they do, tomorrow I'm good. I can literally order whatever I want. I can order everything at once if I want. But if they don't pay, then sadly, I might have to wait, which sucks. Like I might be able to get like 1 or 2 things, but I all this great support you guys gave me during the week, I don't have it yet. So it sucks that like I might have to wait and hold off to actually do some of it. I don't want to, but I have to have the funds to spend the funds. You know what I'm saying? So, but we'll see. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Okay? And we'll go from there. But I want to do that. I'm hoping that tomorrow we'll have a great time together and I'll be able to, order a whole bunch of stuff to improve the setup and go from there. Okay? Buckwell says, don't you have savings? Oh, I do, but I don't want to empty my bank account. That's the thing. You just said it. It's savings. It's not spendings. It's savings. You understand? That's not for me to drop on Black Friday. So let's see what happens. Hopefully it comes through. And if it comes through, then we can buy a whole bunch of stuff tomorrow. In addition, I'll be having my leftovers from Thanksgiving today, tomorrow on stream. So you'll get to see all the good food that we ate today, tomorrow. And we're just going to hang out as well. We're going to have a good time. So a lot of stuff coming tomorrow. A very long stream. A lot of chill, fun interaction. Hopefully you guys will come by and hang out, whether it's gameplay, whether it's chill vibes, whether it's shopping, whether it's food, whether it's drinking. All right, whatever it is, it should be a good day, and I hope that you guys will hang out with me. Okay? Can you have a badge deal? No, you cannot have a badge deal on Kick. No more deals. No more deals. For the record, I haven't mentioned this all week. There's actually special things you can get on Kick. So if you gift 10 subs at once on Kick, I will give you a special VIP badge in the chat that shows that you're like a special supporter. If you do 20 subs in one go, I can give you the OG badge, which basically shows that you're one of the biggest supporters I've ever had on Kick. But we haven't talked about it all week because, it hasn't been a big deal. But if anyone is interested in those deals, that does exist. That's a thing that I've done since day one when I started streaming on Kick. But it's not something we care about. I don't have goals anymore. So it's not like, oh, take the deal so I hit my goal. I don't care. If you want them, great, I'll give them to you. It's up to you. But it's not a big deal. No, I don't do WWE Sims anymore. Maybe if you guys are interested. So I used to actually get whatever the annual WWE game was for a year. I would buy the new game, and sometimes I would try to play through, say, the campaign of the game, if it had one. Sometimes they had good story mode. Sometimes they sucked, right? So sometimes I would do that. And then at certain times of the year, I would usually do a sim pay-per-view where it would be like basically simulated matches with created characters. So I would try to get like pop culture characters. Like it would be like the Frankenstein's monster versus, I don't know, a celebrity. Like who would be a celebrity? That, Miley Cyrus or something. Low tier god versus Santa Claus. I would do that kind of stuff. Those Sims. And they were actually pretty popular. And did very well. But the thing is, my interest in wrestling waned. I stopped buying the games. So I didn't really care about it anymore. And I haven't done one in many years. You might have seen sometimes when I go on break, I run some highlight clips. And one of the highlight clips was like from one of my Halloween Sims that I did once. So, it's possible maybe one day I'll bring them back. But I haven't done them in a very long time. If you guys were interested in doing it. The thing is, it's a lot of work because you have to set it up ahead of time. You basically have to download a whole bunch of wrestlers. And to be honest, the online capability of the WWE games is not great. Usually runs like crap. Has a lot of issues. It'll crash. It'll drop. So you might think, oh, setting up a match is easy. Usually setting up a match would take me more than like 2 hours because you have to get all these wrestlers. You have to set up the arena. You have to get it so it doesn't crash, which is a pain. So there's work involved to set it up and everything. So again, if people were interested and actually wanted that, I would consider doing it. But it's not something that I'm actively thinking about unless maybe we get back to it and you guys are interested in it. Oh, when are we playing Mario Galaxy again? Next week for sure. It's probably like Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm not 100% on that, but we're definitely playing it again next week as a daytime stream. I think I have it. Oh, wait. Oh, okay, never mind. I have it set for Sunday. Cool. We'll do it Sunday as the daytime stream on Sunday. Yeah, because today is Pokemon, and then I'm not streaming late. Tomorrow is the Black Friday Marathon all day long. Saturday I'm off. And Sunday, Super Mario Galaxy 2 and Tormented Souls 2. So yeah. Soul at 2 a.m. Thanks for $5. Did you see an AI music video Good Morning Studios made of you? It's fire. No. I don't watch any AI slop because 99% of it is toxic towards me and my family, and I'm just not going to watch any of it and react to it. There's no point. I don't want to give people any fuel, so I ignore it. So I have no idea what you're talking about. If it's positive, that's great. All I've heard of is toxic stuff with the AI, so I don't really bother with it. I've never heard of them to begin with. I don't know who that is, so. Mega Bonk when? Really? Whenever, like, even if we wanted to try Mega Bonk next week as, like, a late-night stream one night as a random one-off game, I would do that. Like I said, I'm basically I've got stuff going through Monday, but I'm still streaming Tuesday and Wednesday. So if you wanted to try Mega Bonk, maybe we could try that next week as a night stream. If there is demand for it. I know that Asmongold brought it up, and I haven't played it. If you guys really wanted me to try it, I would try it, like, as a random night stream and see if it's any good. Or if it's up my alley or whatever. Up to you. Yeah, and I already said Clear Obscure will be returning sometime in December, probably like mid-December, because we do have to get through the playthroughs I'm doing right now. Like, obviously, we have to finish Pokemon, which we're going to do today, and we're going to decide if we're going to keep playing it or not. We have to finish Tormented Souls 2. We do have Mario Galaxy 2 going. And next week, we've got Metroid Prime 2, Metroid Prime 4, and looks like I'm probably getting into the beta of Marvel Tokon. And there's another game, too, that people are telling me it's on PlayStation. I guess it's like a survival horror game similar to Dino Crisis. I forget what it's called, something Violet or something like that. I'm interested in that, too. So we got a lot going on already in early December, but I definitely want to bring back Expedition 33 once it makes sense. I want to jump into that. Yeah, I don't even know what Ball Pit is. What the hell's Ball Pit? Ball Pit? Is it on Steam? Ball Pit. What the hell is this? Oh, I saw this already. Yeah, I already saw this one. Yeah. Got it. Yeah, I know what this is. I watched the trailer for this one already. Like, it looks interesting, but that kind of looks like a game that would be more entertaining to play than to have someone watch. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, you're just fighting hordes of enemies, bouncing balls and projectiles off of them. Like, that's the whole game. So, I don't know if that would, like, entertain an audience more than 10 minutes. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Again, I am a guy that now I am open to trying anything. If you guys have an idea and you're like, oh, we might like this, I would consider trying something. I'm not against it. Just I want to know if there actually is genuine interest. If you're interested in seeing me try something, I might try it. 5 hearts under one roof. What is that now? SR Trumbull, thanks for another £2. He says, I'm out, Phil. You have a nice Thanksgiving. I'll see you tomorrow. Sounds good. I'll see you for the Black Friday Marathon. That sounds like a plan to me. Thank you so much. Oh my God, what is this? If this is like some stupid dating game, no, I'm not doing that. Yeah, it totally is. I'm not playing that crap. No. That's a no for me. Not doing that. How's it going, Jordan? Jordan says, happy Thanksgiving. I'm part of the Roach Army. Good to have you. Good to have you stopping by. Thanks for saying hello. Jade says he misses Truck Sim. What do you mean, Jade? We just did Truck Sim. And we're doing it again tomorrow. Truck Sim's coming back. Truck Sim is a regular on this stream. It always does well. I did play Hotline Miami 1. I don't remember if I played 2, honestly. I have no recollection if I played 2 or not. I feel like I might have, but I know we played through all of 1. We finished it. Which version of Truck Sim? American Truck Sim. Do we use mods? The only mod that I use is the one that adds in real-life businesses into the game. So there's actually like Target and Walmart and Starbucks. Like all that is in the game. That's the one mod. Everything else is just the plain vanilla game. Now, Battlefield 6, I'm not going to give another chance, and here's why. The reason that we stopped playing Battlefield 6 is because Battlefield 6 is a game that you need to cooperate and communicate with a team in order to succeed. Very much it's a team-focused game. If you try to play it like a run-and-gun, gung-ho game, you fail every time. And the problem with that is, if I'm communicating with a team, I can't talk with my audience. And the matches are like 45 minutes long in Conquest. So I'd stream, play 2.5 matches, everyone was bored. So it's not that the game is bad, it's that that game doesn't really fit my style of content, and therefore it doesn't make sense to continue with it. Will I play Neo 3 on release day in February? I have no clue. To be honest with you, I've kind of got completely burned out on the whole Soulsborne aspect. Like, I just think there's too many of the games, and they're not very interesting or unique anymore. So, like, if FromSoft came out with one, I'd be interested in it. If there's a company that maybe I really like the franchise, I'd be interested in it. But I mean, I played Neo 1 and 2. They're all right. They're not bad games. But like at the same time, I don't think that they're like super memorable, great games anymore. You know? So that's why I don't know. I honestly don't know if I'll play Neo 3 or not. Thank you to Soul at 2 a.m. for another $2. More Blueprints. No, honestly, to be honest with you guys, I played so much Blueprints. I think that maybe, you know, it kind of overstayed its welcome. We got to the point where the game wasn't very fun anymore because it was all relying on like RNG. Like there were puzzles where the only way to solve the puzzle is to have it be on a certain day when certain things are happening, do this certain ridiculous action that's totally reliant on random factors on a certain day, and it just became not very entertaining. It was fun for most of it. But they made those final puzzles, those really complicated, complex puzzles, so reliant on randomness and luck rather than skill. That's what kind of had me stop playing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I could stream it right now and guarantee that I would complete the throne room puzzle and then I would complete the next puzzle, I would play it. But I can't stream 2-3 hours and, oh, because of bad luck, we made 0 progress today. Oh, well, you just wasted your time. Like, that's really not good content, I feel, for like a gameplay streamer, right? Like, that should be something you do for yourself if you really like the game. But I don't think anyone wants to see me stare at the game and fail for 3 hours because the game won't give me the right random conditions to do a puzzle. I played Balatro and I really enjoy the game. I did many runs in Balatro, actually, unlocked many of the decks, and really had a lot of fun. But I played it a few times, and I kind of saw what the game was, and this audience saw what the game was. And after a while, there really was no demand for it anymore. Like, I liked it, but we had kind of seen it, a good amount of it. Would I ever do a stream like Taboo Tuesday where we can vote in a poll on what game of the day will be? I don't know. It's a possibility because now I actually have legit positive people who vote. Previously, if I did something like that, everyone would nominate some garbage game and I'd play and be like, this is stupid. Why'd you nominate it? And then they would laugh. Ha ha ha, we were trolling you. Wow, thanks for wasting my night. But now if we have like positive people doing it, then maybe I would. Jade says he would love more Hades too. That was another one where I'm disappointed because I went to play it and it just didn't work. People did not like it and said it was boring and didn't show up or support the playthrough. And I was like, that sucks. You know, like, I like Hades 2 a lot. I would love to play more, but I do need people to actually show up to the streams, and they weren't. The Block says you could give Anton Blast a go. They even have a demo. I have no idea what Anton Blast is. We did the PlayStation Cloud Gaming ages ago. We did it when it first launched, remember? I think it was for PlayStation Platinum subscribers. So I got the Platinum sub, and we tried a few games. Notably, we tried Infamous 2. We tried, what was it? Borderlands, Tiny Tina, right? Whatever that spinoff was. We did like 2 or 3 games. Pretty much all of them ran fine. The only one, like, for example, playing Infamous 2, it worked, but it was a little on the fuzzy side, meaning it wasn't crisp HD visuals. But it also wasn't bad. Like, it was fully playable, and it wasn't massively delayed or whatever. So it seemed viable. Now, keep in mind, that was a few years ago when PlayStation Platinum launched or whatever. I have no idea if the service has improved or anything since then. I have never tried the Xbox cloud service. Okay. All right, guys, I think we've chatted for 2 hours. Actually, one more. Soul at 2 a.m. did a $5 super chat. Thank you, Soul. He says, Sea of Thieves when they have safer seas, that's solo. I played Sea of Thieves at launch and literally did everything there was to do in the game within 3 hours. That's not even exaggerating. I actually did everything there was to do in the game. I fought a bunch of ghost pirates, got treasure for it, got into a naval battle, found the Kraken. Like, I did all that. I did it all. And there was nothing left to do. So after that, I was like, I don't even understand what the point of the game is, and I never played it again. Now, from my understanding, in the last 6-7 years or whatever it's existed, they've now massively added insane amounts of content and everything to it. But would you guys want to see me go back to Sea of Thieves? I don't know. I've never really even given it a second thought. There's like 20 different campaign stories to play now. Yeah, I wonder if I would like it now. Launch was so underwhelming. I mean, you want to talk about launching a game that was not ready. It had no content. I don't know why they launched it like that. And for me, first impressions are like everything. Same thing with No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky was so bad at launch, so broken. Now I've heard it's a completely different experience, but it's like, I don't want to play it now. It's 2025. I wanted to play No Man's Sky 7 years ago, 8 years ago. Actually came out, was it 2016? So 9 years ago. That's when I wanted to play it, not now. All right, guys, here's the deal. I want to thank you all for chilling with me here for 2 hours on Thanksgiving 2025. It's been amazing to hang out. I do want to play some Pokemon today, though. So stick around. By the way, that doesn't mean that we can't talk, we can't hang out, but I do want to play the game. I did promise everyone the end game of the story today and that we would see what the post game is. So I just want to say thanks for an amazing hangout session. That was great. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there. I hope that you and yours have a safe and fun holiday. I hope that you enjoyed hanging out with me for a couple of hours. It seems like those who watch me on demand really like these kind of like talking sessions. So hopefully you enjoy the video. And just remember, tomorrow, it's a big event, a big marathon. You can come hang out with me all day or just drop in whenever you can. It would be nice to see you all on Black Friday when we're going to do some fun stuff together. Okay? All right. So thank you very much. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Be safe and see you soon.